Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, everybody. I am your host, Adrian Rodriguez de Vela, and this is the first episode of the Spartan Spotlight podcast of Vanguard Rembrandt Secondary. I'm your host, Adrian Rodriguez de Vela. I am a senior of Vanguard Academy, and here I have my wonderful co-host,
Carolina Banda, a junior at Vanguard Academy, here to lead you through this podcast along Adrian and
of course, there isn't a podcast without our guests. Here we have our wonderful coaches from PeerForward. We have our wonderful coach, Coach C. Cornelius.
Coach Cornelius here from Miami. Nice to see you all. Nice to be around. Looking forward to our podcast today.
Great. And we also have our second coach. We have Coach Shires. Say hi.
Hey, no worries. What's up, guys? Happy to be here. Can't wait to dive deep into our conversation.
Great. And of course, there is the wonderful, stupendous, extraordinary Vice Principal of Vanguard Rembrandt Secondary, Ms. Diana Ibanez.
Giving everybody a shout out there, hoping everybody's staying safe out there during this time. And we're hoping you will enjoy our new podcast, Spartan Spotlight.
Spartan Spotlight, everybody. You heard it here first, folks, in Spartan Spotlight about Spartan Spotlight. We're going to be spreading it everywhere as soon as possible so we can get this news, these tips, and these amazing notifications about life in this current lifestyle to you as soon as possible. So, Carolina, please, do you want us to get us started with our check-in question of the day?
Yes, of course. Now to dive in, I have a check-in question. How are we all holding up during this quarantine? And what is one thing we appreciate from being home during quarantine? So now, Coach Shires, would you like to begin?
Sure, I'll jump in. So I am holding up the best that I can with feeling like kind of catching that cabin fever a little bit, but I'm holding up. And the way that I'm doing that is by making sure that each day that I get up, that I'm focusing on the work that I need to do, but also focusing on my self-help, right? So I'm doing a little bit of exercising in the morning, definitely watching what I'm eating, because I tell you what, I feel like I'm getting bigger. Like I'm getting bigger.
Everyone is.
Man, I'll tell you, but yeah, so that's what I'm doing, taking care of self with a little bit of exercise and maintaining my sanity.
All right, jumping off of the coach, we have our next coach, Coach C. You want to take it away?
Yeah, man. So thank you for that. How am I holding up? I'm holding up good. I work from home sometimes, so this is kind of not new for me, but it's a good feeling being around family. Being able to binge watch my TV shows on the daily is a plus. I am missing out on nothing right now other than sunlight. But yeah, I appreciate being home, back at my hometown in Florida. And so, just being able to watch TV, chill out with friends, and FaceTiming a lot more than usually. So,
ooh, yes, I think everyone is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, Ms. Reyes, would you like to crack at the question?
That's me.
Well, unlike Coach Shires, nope, I'm not doing any exercise, but I have been eating a lot.
Okay.
I'm really, really good. But keeping also busy with a lot of work. And I guess just like everybody else, our screen time has gone up. And it has given me an opportunity to catch up with Netflix. And watching all these crazy TV shows on Netflix. It's pretty neat.
All right, Carolina, what about you?
Well, just trying to live every day, trying not to get bored at home, trying to stay on top of my schoolwork, trying to really bond more with my family because we're all under the same roof, and who knows how long it's going to keep up. And I guess just I have learned to appreciate time more, what we took for granted. Now I look back and I'm like, oh, I should have enjoyed more when I had the opportunity to go out or be with my friends. So yes.
All right, good answer. I personally, like you, Carolina, there's a lot of work to do, and not only do, but to catch up on. It's a bit of a different lifestyle for adults and students at the moment, because a lot of students are currently in their houses, learning from home, working from home. And it's a bit of a different environment. It's a bit of a different lifestyle because you wake up in your room to work in your room. And going off of that topic of time that you mentioned, Carolina, there is a very, very different relationship right now for a lot of people at home right now, a lot of students at home. They're having a different relationship with time and, of course, how to manage it. So here we jump into our topic of the day, which is how are you moving forward into the future? How are you taking this time of quarantine into your hands and making the absolute best out of it, molding it into an opportunity to be able to push forward through? And I'll start off myself. Being motivated in this time, it's a bit rough. You wake up in your room and you stay, like I said, in your room and work from your room. So it's a bit difficult to stay motivated because you are working in the same room that your bed is in, and you might want to lay down in your bed. And I personally, I'm not saying I'm the golden boy and I will absolutely not lay on my bed and not work on my bed and fall asleep on my bed in my work, during my work. But I'm just, from me to you, let's make sure we stay on our tables. We even try to change up the environment. Why not go around your room, which you haven't changed for the next 4 years that you have been in high school, or the next 5 years that you've been in high school, and change it up a bit. Give it yourself a nice little flair so you can stay awake. Maybe you move to another room so you can stay concentrated. I personally sometimes would, if I fall asleep and I wake up and I'm like, darn it, I fell asleep, I'm going to move to the kitchen and work in the kitchen and stay there until I finish my work. What about you, Carolina? What's your experience with trying to stay motivated while work?
Well, yes, it takes a lot of self-discipline, especially being under the same roof for 24 hours straight every day for the last couple of weeks. So I've actually rearranged my room, give it a new vibe. Yeah. It's working.
Somebody's been watching HGTV.
It's working.
But yes, just trying to stay on top of my schoolwork because it's a lot of self-discipline, not having a teacher in front of you to go over the material. You really have to, whether it's Google Class Meet or on a Zoom meeting or just the videos they share with us, we really need to be taking that into account and using those resources. I personally, as a junior right now, I know Adrian's a senior, so he already submitted his college applications. He already took his standardized testing. I haven't gone through that yet. So I feel like this quarantine is somewhat of a blessing in disguise because I have a lot of time on my hands now. So I actually have prep books here on the floors where I'm actually studying for the ACT. I know some colleges won't ask for it, but I still want to take the initiative and really prepare myself. Yes.
That's dope.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, I might not be the golden boy, but Carolina is your golden girl going through all the preparations to get ready. While she has prep books on her floor, I currently have dirty clothes on my floor. So there is a great difference between seniors and juniors right there. But going off of that, this is a very, very interesting time. It is probably first time that it has happened on such a wide scale. Everyone in the world is at home, if not restricted in how they can move around and how they can deal with their time. And like you said, this time may be a blessing in disguise. And you might notice I'm saying time a lot. Well, that is quite literally because we have a lot of time in our hands, more than ever before. You're not having to wake up in the morning to go to school, have a ride home, or you're not having time to go to school, eat breakfast, go through each of your classes, do some work there. No, you're waking up and it is completely up to you where you go from there. There is deadlines of homework that you have to get done. There is certain stuff that you have to do that you know you have to do, and you might not want to do it. Well, it is important to keep in mind that this quarantine time is giving you a lot of time. It is giving you more than you have ever bargained for. Like at the beginning, we were expecting a 1 week spring break, and there were some rumors that it might have gotten extended another week just for to reduce that social interaction and reduce the curve of the spread. So next, we ended up getting more than a month. We are now at like a month and or so of time that we have spent home. And what have we done with it? I want you to really keep that thought in mind. I want you to really keep that thought in mind. What have you done with it? And now I want you to think what you can do, what you will do with it. And I really want you to keep that in mind, like Carolina's keeping that in mind and moving through with her work, getting that study in and proceeding through it as best as she can and making a blessing out of what people consider to be one of the hardest times humanity has ever gone through. So, jumping off of this, we will continue into our question section. First question that I have is directed towards our coaches. What tips would you give students studying at home right now?
So one thing you want to do for students is you just want to make sure that you keep your routine. And what that means is every day, if you woke up and you showered before school and you got dressed, do that same routine so that you don't get out of the whack and you feel like it's Saturday. I thought today was Sunday. And so you just want to make sure that you continue to do your routine. Also, remember your resources. And so don't forget about all the things that you needed when you were in school and how to get those things. If you need them, reach out for resources. The number one thing why people drop out of school during hard times is because they don't ask for help. So if you need help, please make sure that you ask for it. And remember, this is not a vacation. All right, so don't slack off. This is not a vacation. Those are my tips, man.
Go Shire.
I would kind of piggyback on that. I would say make sure that you are really looking at the resources that you have, because everything's going to be a little bit different, especially how you're receiving those resources. And I mean, to give you a solid tip, what I've heard has been working for some of our other students is if you have a go-to support system at the support person at the school, lean on that person, have like a accountability partner, if you will. And sometimes it can be another peer, and sometimes it could be your advisor, or it could be your vice principal. Make sure that you lean on those who have your back, and that that you can count on to really give you the information that you need.
All right. Speaking of vice principal, Ms. Ibanez, do you want to take a crack at the question? What would you advise students who are studying at home right now?
So far, we've received some amazing advice from everybody, from students to our coaches. But I really loved Coach Cornelia's setting. Keep your routine. You got to stay on your routine. You got to stay in your momentum. You got to stay in your rhythm. If not, then you'll kind of deviate and go a little bit to a different path that we don't need to be going in. And so you want to stay on track. And then also make a place at home for learning. I know you're not at home. I mean, you're not at school, but find a little area in your home and make it for learning. And maybe that's a little spot where it won't let you kind of swing and get distracted and procrastinate and, like Adrian, go to sleep on the bed, take naps, but it'll keep you off. So those are my tips for you.
Yes. Tying into the second question, what personally do you do to stay on top of your work? Coach Shires, would you like to answer this question to start off?
Yeah. Personally, I make sure that I wake up early. For me, I know, especially been in this space, the first week, it was easy for me to sleep in. I was just sleeping in. I was like, okay. But which I've heard a lot of people say they've been doing. But I think for me to really be on top of my work is to wake up early, make sure that I pull myself together, collect my thoughts, and really plan out what my day is going to look like. I'm a big fan of making my agenda for the day and attacking that and making sure that I complete that by the end of the day.
Coach C, would you like to answer the question next?
Oh, yeah. So one thing I do is I'll take breaks. I take a nap every day for my lunch break. And so I snack a lot, but also make sure that I take breaks, whether it's a mental, quick 5-minute meditation after a meeting, just to make sure that I can refocus, get everything back. And so, yeah, take breaks. Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. Everyone needs a break right now. So take a break if need be.
Yes, I agree. I do that too, but I go to the kitchen and I start snacking a lot.
Yeah.
And I spend like a good hour in there. Ms. Ibanez, what about you?
I think anybody that knows me, I'm carrying calendars around and planners. And so that has helped me keep my rhythm. And for me, those planners and those calendars are super important, and they became even more important now to keep me on task. And do I take breaks? Yes, they're super important. They keep you sane, I think, and you have to. You got to take those breaks in between, and it's okay for you to put Control S for save and pause. And go take a little break. It's important. But don't forget, you got to come back.
Yeah, it's a very, very important part. You have to remember to actually come back to the work. Yeah. Very important. Let's move on to the next question. This goes out to all our coaches and advisors, VPs. What advice do you have for students who currently feel less motivated than usual, who could use an extra boost, and where they could possibly find that? Coach Shires, do you want to start off with that?
Yeah. I would say absolutely reach out to your team, like your fellow peers, right? See what those individuals are doing and just have a conversation just to break away from the monotony, right? I think sometimes it's easy for us to get lost in the work and just feel kind of down and out, and especially if we're not getting out and doing some exercising and getting fresh air. I think the best thing that to really like just kind of spark some of those endorphins in your mind is just to have a really good conversation with somebody, especially in this time.
Yeah, very true, very true. Coach Cornelius?
Yeah, I would say continue to push through. Sometimes you got to think about where do you want to be at in the future, right? And so when things get hard, get tough right now, you need the extra motivation. Just think about do something that your future self will be proud of that you did today, so that when we come out of this quarantine, that you've accomplished something that you'll be proud of at that time. But if you need an extra boost of energy or like confidence, if you have family members that you're living with now during this quarantine, lean on them. Lean on them. Say something, give positive. When you give off positive energy tends to come back to you. And so try to give off some positive energy to someone. A compliment, a smile can go a long way. See if it doesn't come back.
All right, what about you, Miss Ibanez?
Kind of goes with that song that says, lean on me. There you go. And that's all you need to do is lean on me. I think all of us have some special person in our lives or somebody that we can go to. Reach out to them. Even if you're the one that's having the good day, reach out to somebody. Turn it around. Reach out. Pick up the phone or FaceTime somebody and let somebody see your beautiful smile. Let somebody see those beautiful teeth of yours and hear your amazing voice. And keep that momentum going. Okay? We all need it. We all need that love, and we got to share it.
Very true. Very true. Don't only seek out motivation, everyone. Make sure you also give it out. You are in a world with other people, and please take advantage of that. They need your help as much as you need theirs. All right, Carolina, do you want to take the next question?
Yes. Well, I know this is, for me, the first time I have been locked up in my house for this long. So now, have any of you ever gone through anything like this quarantine before?
No. Honest answer that one.
Yes.
Joking around? No. Well, without jokes aside, no. Never been quarantined this long before. Only perhaps maybe when you're being grounded. Go to your room and you're stuck there for a weekend or what have you, but that's as far as my quarantine went, but never for weeks. Okay? And yes, I got grounded too.
Yeah, so it's important to keep that in mind. It's important to keep that in mind. You aren't being punished, and this is some sort of like yourself being grounded for something that you did. No, this is simply for safety, and you have a lot of time on your hands, like I said, and please take advantage of that. So we keep on speaking of time, but what's going to happen after all this time? What do we want to do? What are we itching to do once we get our butts outside of our houses? So this question goes out to everyone. What is your post-quarantine bucket list? What is the first thing on your list, or one of the main things you want to do once you get these doors open so you can run outside and do what you want? Coach Cornelius, do you want to take it away?
Yeah. So right now I'm living at my parents' house. because I was here on vacation before the quarantine hit, and I have not been able to go back to my home. So yeah, go back home and relax in my own bed. Well, I'm in my childhood bed now, so it's kind of but you know, my race car bed. But yeah, get back home, see friends back in DC. But something I want to do is actually go to a theme park. Now that I got someone told me that I can't go anywhere, I want to do it. So I think I'm gonna go to a theme park and just let loose one day.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
What about you, Coach Shires?
Listen, I have a 5-year-old that needs to get back to school because she's driving me crazy. Listen, I got the door locked because she would kick this door down and be running up here right now if I didn't. No, you know, I think for me, it's really just going to be able to kind of get back in the swing of things. Not only with her being back at school, but her mom working, and then, you know, just kind of getting back in the rhythm of, well, whatever rhythm is going to look like after this. That's one. And the other one is just kind of being able to get back into, you know, to the parks and, you know, just getting outside, you know, and spending time outside. I love that. Beaches and stuff like that.
We're all missing that. Miss Ioannis, what about you?
Oh my God, I think I'm going to run home to my parents. I'm so eager to hug them and just to kiss them. Haven't, I think just once after I got back from the New York trip with one of our students, haven't seen my parents. And so I miss them a lot, and I'm so looking forward to that. And next to that, I don't know, I just want to run free in the street. And just take it all in. Take it all in.
So once we are outside those doors, please expect to see Miss Ioannis running right past your door.
There you go.
What about you, Carolina? What's on your bucket list?
Oh, I have a long list. But definitely, I want to go back to shopping. I want to go to the mall, to the stores.
Shopping, the mall, okay.
Yes, go out and eat. But probably more importantly, see extended family, my grandparents, my cousins. Mm-hmm. So really spend time with them. And my friends, of course. Yes, and go back to a regular schedule, routine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What about you, Adrian?
So I am more than ready to leave this house. I'm currently, though I am senior, I'm a young senior, so I'm currently 17. And under the law, I cannot leave this house under any circumstances whatsoever. And all of my friends, well, the majority, if not all, of my friends are currently 18. So if there is any shopping to do, any fresh air to be taken, any necessities to go get, they can go. I am currently stuck at home, and I can do absolutely nothing about it. So I am really looking forward to just stepping right out of that door. That is a dream of mine, to be able to step outside and be okay and know that everything is okay. So really just go outside, see my friends who I haven't seen in a very, very long time. And of course, like Carolina said, get to meet that like face-to-face basis with my extended family, because everyone is going through this. It's important to keep that in mind, that everyone in the world is going through this. And once we get out of it, we will be more unified in the fact that we were really divided during these times. And I want to thank the coaches for joining us today. They helped us set this podcast up. They helped us prepare a script, and they helped us by simply being here. And I also want to thank Ms. Ioannis. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for consistently supporting us, the Peer Forward group. And Caro, thank you for being my co-host. Everybody, thank you. Thank you for joining us in this podcast. This has been Spartan Spotlight. And before we get to the full end, we have some announcements by my co-host.
So now, all Vanguard students, there are still grab-and-go free meals to all children in the local community. This is not just open to Vanguard students, but any neighboring communities. It is from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Monday through Friday. Now, if you are interested in summer school with STC dual classes, do not forget that the open registration dates are open now. And lastly, any students still needing technology, such as the laptops or the hotspots, please swing by our campus to pick them up 8 a.m. through 2 p.m., Monday through Friday as well.
lots of place, lots of resources, everyone. It's important to keep in mind that this is one of the most open, most widespread, most connected times of our lives. We have technology on our side, and we have each other by our side. So it's important to use all these resources that you have at hand and that are being offered to you. So thank you once more to all the guests, to my fellow co-hosts, and to you for watching the first episode of Spartan Spotlight. I have been your host, Adrian Rodriguez de Vela, and thank you for joining.